back to school at 23, and I had a lot of an emotional build up and walls, and he could still see that I was brazen. Like, I still, deep down inside of me, something in me was just unafraid, and I wanted to dare, I wanted to try, I wanted to be dauntless. Like, and do things that even if it scared me, I'm still gonna freaking do it, because this is the beauty of life. This is what we have come to this earth to do, to freaking be alive, to feel, to be afraid of something and do it anyways, especially only if it's safe, of course. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Like, I'm not telling you to do that, so don't tell anyone that I said that. Like, don't be like, yo, Milan, her YouTube channel said, even if you're afraid, go get and jump off the cliff. No, don't do that. I didn't say that. All right, what's up, everyone? It's your girl Milan here. Okay, I was writing the script for the video and for my YouTube videos in general, and then I started getting really, like, you know that feeling when it's like, oh, I gotta do this now or else my inspiration it's just flowing. So that's kind of what happened. So let me prop myself up. I'm sitting, but let me prop this up the way I want it to be. 1 second. What's up? Do you guys even care that there's a window behind me? I don't think so. Okay. What's up, everyone? It's your girl Milan here, and yes, I'm wearing this very cutesy dress. And if you ask the question, yeah, I've been leaning out. Honestly, I've been using the power of my mind. For those of you who don't really know about manifestation and all of that, it might sound a bit wild to you. So let me not look at myself. Let me actually look in the camera. It might sound a bit different to you, but I've been actually using the power of my mind and affirmations to speak 9% body fat, lean muscle, slim, lean body. And it's something that I've been doing for a very, very long time. But I wanted to test out the power of my mind with like my weight journey, because I've worked out so hard for a long time, and I wanted to try. Yeah, this looks good. I just needed, it's wet right now. Not me feeling myself. But yes, I wanted to test out the power of affirmations, because I use that to help me with clear skin. Yes, I got a little breakout. It always seems to be that when I go do a video where I get up close and personal, I break out. But it happens to the best of us. So yes, I manifested clear skin. I'm so happy about that, my darlings. Friends, just a fun fact, I love red lips. I'm gonna start wearing red lips more in my videos, but it definitely, you know, this dress is very like soft and sweet, and then the red lips are just like, ooh, who is she? Okay. So let me get into this video. Okay, so by the title of this video, you know what I'm talking about. Don't mind me flipping this notebook because I got some notes, obviously. Yes, this is the time to be alive. It is such a beautiful, being a human is amazing. I'm so glad that I was put on this earth as a human being. There are so many different beings, so many living things, organisms, and You know, God created us to be a human being that can really conceptualize feelings and emotions and create beautiful things in this world. Like, don't mind me if I tear up and I cry. I had a hair in my eye. If I tear up and cry, because this is the beauty of this journey, this human experience, right? Yeah, side note, I'm looking at my notes. If I look down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. We were brought on this earth to feel. We were brought on this earth to feel emotions like love and joy and happiness, even sadness, pain. We were brought on this earth to feel those things. Honestly, in the human experience, even though those aren't the good things, those are definitely a part of the experiences. I watched the movie, I forget the name. I'm gonna put it at the bottom when I look it up. But I watched the movie. It was a children's animation, and from watching that, I actually learned about emotions. I Let me describe the movie, and then I'll say what I was saying. So there's this girl in the real world, and then there are little characters that represents this girl's emotions inside of her mind. So it plays back and forth in between, showing the girl's experience in life and the change in her life, and then the change in her emotions and how the outward is really affecting her emotions and how she handles it as she goes from her adolescent years, well, as she goes from her childhood, adolescent years, teenage years. So it depicts that. It also shows that, when she was young, she had this happy life. It was so amazing. Her mom and dad were there. She was in a neighborhood that she loved, around friends she loved, and people that she loved. And then her dad got a job offer that made her move out of state, and it really had a hard time. I mean, it really affected her, and she was having a hard time. Changing, she was having a hard time. She was sad. She couldn't communicate. She was becoming depressed, and the inside in her mind, these little characters were trying to help her. But happiness, joy, was trying to take over, and like, oh man, she can't be sad, she can't be depressed, she can't be angry. Those things aren't good. It's not good to feel those things. And so she was trying to take over. You guys, by now, with me describing it, if you have any nieces or nephews, if you have any children, which I have nieces and nephews, so I went to watch this movie. Did I watch it with my niece and nephew? Yeah, I think it was just because of them. I could have just watched it on my own, to be quite honest, because I really enjoy animation still. I don't know when I watched it. I don't know why I watched it, but I did. I think it was also during the lockdown as well, in 2020, not 21. But yes, so the emotions. So with that description, okay, so I learned a lot about emotions because I was one that like stuffed everything inside. I stuffed down, deep down, because I had this, just like her, there were a lot of things, a lot of changes. I was constantly moving when I was a kid. I didn't have that stability. And I talked this through with my therapist, and he was like, yeah, you were always changing. Something was always changing. So it made you feel like uncertain, like you didn't know what was going to happen next. You don't know if you could get comfortable with these people, because then in months or a year from now, you would have to leave. Like that was what I was going through. And I really understood that, honestly, last year. I am 28 years old, and it took me 27 years to really deal with all the mental health stuff that all the emotional stuff, all the trauma, all the childhood PTSD that I've gone through. So just a disclaimer, just a little nugget here. If you feel like you need any help if you feel like you're alone, if you feel like your emotions are really just overtaking you and you cannot deal with it on your own, tell someone, reach out to someone, a therapist if you know them. I was fortunate enough to meet a therapist in my acting class, and that was who I reached out to because he was the first person. There was another woman that was also a therapist, but I also had a personal friendship with her. So just with the protocol of therapists, she wouldn't be able to be like a family friend to me moving forward. It would just be a therapist relationship. So I wanted to keep that because I appreciated her as a family friend. She's close with my mom. I've known her through church and stuff like that. So I didn't go with her, even though she would have been amazing. But I wanted to keep our friendship alive. So yeah, if you need help, reach out to someone. Reach out to someone you feel safe sharing your emotions with. And you don't have to go through this alone. So there's that. But yeah, I also went through a lot of stuff and I didn't tackle it until I was in lockdown because for years I was just, I guess, distracting myself. I was always just so busy. I was busy chasing my dreams and doing the next thing. And yes, music was my way to express myself, but I also had friends that were there in my life at that time as a distraction from what I was going through in reality in my life. And I didn't really deal with what was going on. I just forgot about it because I went to have fun with my friends, and that is not bad. That was just how I coped with it. But watching this movie really helped me see that it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay because actually in learning about those things and sharing your emotions, you're able to connect with people. With my therapist, he asked me a question. He said, who do you feel close to? Who do you trust? And I said myself. That was the answer I gave because at that point in time I couldn't think about anyone. And then the second closest was my younger brother, Fick. Shout out to you, Fick. Yes. And then my mom. But in that moment, like now it's different, but in that moment, it was just me. I trusted me, and then I trusted my brother. And with my emotions, like emotional worlds, where I felt safe, like no one, I wasn't gonna have judgment here, or someone wasn't gonna inflict any more emotional pain that I already was dealing with. Yeah, so I don't want to brush over these statements, but the whole point of what I'm saying is it took that long to really start working on my emotional world. And now looking back, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything that I've gone through. As hard as it was, as like lost sometimes that I felt, or not lost, because like of course I enjoy living. I felt like I knew what I wanted to do. It's always been the music and the acting, so I didn't feel lost in that sense, but like lost myself, the person that I know to be, and that I enjoy being, and that that I saw myself continuing to grow into. I felt lost from her, from all of the beauty that I know to be internally. And I wanted to find her again. I didn't want to be separate from her. And but yeah, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Even though it was a really tough time, I was able to come out on the other side with learning a lot of tools about mental health and be okay. And actually, another example of things I wouldn't change, in this notebook, the one that I'm reading my notes from right here, I stumble upon. It's so funny because I didn't know that there was in there. I actually started writing notes for my, like, scripting my outline for this video, and this was my music theater notebook for. This was my notebook for the music theater workshop class that I took in my university, and there weren't many pages filled because that course was a really short one. So this is as much as there was left. This is the notes for the YouTube video, and I was like, oh, I didn't write in anything. Nothing was there. And then in the back, I stumbled upon a note, a letter that I wrote. And I dated it because I like to be able to look back and see, oh, in this time period, this is how I felt, and that was 5 years, and this is how I am now. I see the growth. I love it. And as a writer, I don't know, I date everything just because I know that I'm the type of person, I really value these things, very sentimental to me, like my journals, my notebooks, my posters, my vision boards. I always write dates on them to see when I created this, and then look back on it and like, oh my God, this was the inception phase of something, or whatever the case is. But for this, okay, it was a note, a letter to someone that was very infatuated with. I thought I loved him, but I know now I've never been in love before. I've loved people. I've loved people, but I've never been in love, and I wasn't in love with him, but I definitely was very infatuated with him. And I saw a lot of things. I visualized a lot of things happening. But then, of course, there's free will, and then there's actual like desire and truth and what I want and who I was becoming and creating. Creating my life to be, etc. So that was the divide, that was the change, etc. But I stumbled upon this letter, 2017, that was 5 years. And it was like a goodbye letter. It was a goodbye letter to this person, even though we actually didn't speak maybe for a year and a half in that time period, a year and a half, maybe 2 years, we didn't really speak, maybe like cross paths. But it was a goodbye and a release of this emotional space that he was taking up in my mind, in my heart, and it was just becoming too much for me. And I wrote this goodbye letter. In the beginning, I didn't know it was a goodbye letter. I was reading it, I'm like, man, I'm so different now, and I'm so happy with the growth and who I've become. I even, I call her my cousin, but it's a family friend, but to save the detail and save this from being like really long, she told me, like, when I was 21, it was 2013, so I spent a lot of time just dealing with the situation. When I was 21, I told her, yeah, I think I want to be with this guy. 21, 22. I want to be with this guy. Yeah, I think I can marry him. This is my husband. All this stuff. And she was like, oh, okay, well, just know you're 21 now, but like a lot of things change. People change. You will change. Your tastes, your desires will change. Can change, but it doesn't mean that, he won't be a part of it. It doesn't mean that he will be a part of it, your life as in it. But just know that your desires and wants will definitely change. You will change, you will grow. So we'll see if that like aligns with who you two are at that point. And I was like, no, I understand. Thank you for those words, but I want him. That's what I wanted. And like, I am 28. This 7 years from from then. It doesn't feel like that long of a time, but like 7 years isn't long, but it is long. A lot of life lived, a lot of experiences had, and yeah, I've changed. I've changed. My desires have changed. I think, no, my desires have just become, I think where I've changed is advocating for my needs and being more confident and not a people pleaser. So I don't know. I've always known what I wanted to do. I've always known like my desires in the sense of like career path and how I want to help the world, how I want to look like physique wise, my hair, those like external things or career. So the change really happened internally, the confidence in myself and my experiences, and yeah, yeah, that's how I've changed. And then because I have changed, the world around me, what I was creating, had to follow suit, had to change. Like there was no way that if you there's no way if you put in the work to change something about your life, about yourself, that it won't reflect back to you. I can't say that was easy. I can't say that that was easy, but in advocating for my needs, it just, it was a natural next thing to happen. Um, so reading that letter, I was like, I I was almost really sad because that wasn't the healthiest time for me, but I'm glad I went through it. I had to go through the breaking in order to get to the other side of that. The other side, which looks like me now, healthy, emotionally, mentally healthy. So because I'm someone who is all in with what I do, with what I put my mind to. I'm very passionate, like with people, with music, business, ventures. I can say that another part of like my human experience, that everything that I've experienced so far, I have given my all. And I'm very proud of that. I've given my all to friendships that at this point I maybe will cross paths again. Who the hell knows? But I've given my all in that time period. I tried my hardest to reach out. With guys that I liked hard, and it felt nice to like them. And I was really honest. I mean, I tried to be as honest as possible with myself. With going through that experience with the infatuation of that guy, I actually, that was probably the only time where I changed so much and I wasn't honest with myself. I wasn't honest in the sense of like, man, I don't feel like this is being reciprocated, but I'm still gonna try. I'm still gonna try. You know, that was the only time and the last time that I ever did that. And moving forward, I always, and learning about dating, I always made sure that it was an equal balance. In my friendships, equal balance. Like, yeah, equal of give and take, you know? And yeah, I don't regret anything in this journey at all. Where I'm at now, well, let me backtrack. So I don't regret anything in this journey, and I'm looking forward to actually falling in love. After that experience, I needed time to heal. I was closed off. Even some situations with friends, it was hard for me to open up to people. Even things from my childhood that I didn't really understand, that I didn't know affected me still. Like I've been going through and sifting and cutting the old patterns and like really digging and doing the work in that sense. And yeah, uh, I'm so happy. I am. I'm happy with the woman I'm becoming, and I'm happy that I am an all-in person. That I will try. I will give all that I have in this moment, especially if I really desire it. I'm gonna give it all, and it's evident, you know. So I'm not shy. I'm not afraid, in that sense. My acting professor said to me, Stuart Meltzer. He's awesome. From the Poetic Stage and New World School of the Arts in Miami, Florida. He said, "You are a very brazen chick." And mind you, that was in 2016 when I went back to school at 23. And I had a lot of an emotional build up and walls, and he could still see that I was brazen. Like, I still, deep down inside of me, something in me was just unafraid, and I wanted to dare, I wanted to try, I wanted to be dauntless. Like, um and do things that, even if it scared me, I'm still gonna freaking do it, because this is the beauty of life. This is what we have come to this earth to do, to freaking be alive, to feel, to be afraid of something and do it anyways, especially only if it's safe, of course. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Like, I'm not telling you to do that, so don't tell anyone that I said that. Like, don't be like, yo, Milan on her YouTube channel said, even if you're afraid, go get and jump off the cliff. No, don't do that. I didn't say that. But we were meant to feel. I don't know why I'm tucking these in like wings. It's because I want you to see my shape, but I'm skinny. I can't with myself. But coming up the other side of just fear and holding myself back because I'm afraid to offend people and not fit in with a certain people group, like, those days are gone. Nobody has time for that. No one has time for that. Like, I want to live my best life, as they say, you know. It's great. And yeah, that's kind of all I had to say about that. Life is meant to be lived. We're meant to feel. We're meant to feel it all. And I believe we're meant to express it as well, so that way people can know that, wow, I'm not the only one experiencing these things, that I'm not the only one that feels this way. Man, this person really cares about me. Like, letting people know what you think so you can connect. That is where we find the deepest connections, when we are honest, when we are brave enough to say, man, I like you. I think you're freaking attractive, man. You were dope. Like, encouraging someone. You did amazing with that song at that job. Thank you. I'm so happy with how you have showed up for me as a friend. Or I didn't appreciate how you made me feel in this conversation. Like, being fully honest with care, with care. That's what life is about. That's what life is freaking about. And I'm gonna continue to be living like this. That is it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is the first video of my March Madness series. Why is it called March Madness? Well, in lieu of March Madness, what's going on with the football? I just thought about, like, all the things, kind of a play on words, but not the madness. It's not mad, but it's actually really good. And the things that, like, really drive us, like, give us energy. Like, if you think of going mad, you think of going crazy, but those are the exhilarating things in life. It can be not so healthy. I'm not saying we need to be unhealthy to live a full life, okay? But just like I'm kind of just playing with the March Madness thing. Yeah, so this is the series for March. Be on the lookout for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my other channel, Milan's Muse, my main channel, where you will get to see me singing to you. I will serenade you. I appreciate you. And like in my last post, I haven't obviously posted a lot of music, but I'm definitely feeling very inspired with my own original content, and I'm really excited for what's in store. Yeah, take care of yourselves, friends. And if you got this far in the video, drop a what's emoji? Drop a like a hot face emoji, like sweating like that. Drop that in the comments so I can know you made it this far, because this March Madness is gonna be hot. That emoji face. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one, boos. Bye. This lighting and the way the sun hits is everything. I'm in a boot waiting for my mom to get back in the car. I'm going to take us somewhere now. Taking her to work. But yeah. I think so. I'm just trying to make sure my phone stays. Stay, phone, stay. I kind of want you guys to see my top. I want you to see it. Sheesh. All right, I'll just sit back.